few seconds. Yes, Dr. Yogi is here. Welcome, sir.
Hi. Hi. Hello, sir. No, hello.
Good evening.
Good
Namaste.
evening. Good
So, how are
evening,
you, sir?
sir. I'm fine. How are you, sir?
Very great, and wonderful to have you here on our Right Talks. This,
Absolute pleasure.
this,
Absolute pleasure.
yes, this is our third Right Talks, and we have done one with Mr. Janathan, sir. First one
Yeah.
and
Yes.
second one with the Sudhir, sir. He is a pen person, and now third one is yours from Delhi, and we are covering all the metropolitan cities. Coincidentally, today I was wondering, and I'm so
Mm-hmm.
happy to have you in the capital of India. How is everything over there, sir?
Fine. Actually, I'm back home, so I'm in Bhubaneswar right now. Although I stay in Delhi,
Oh,
I've been staying there for
fine.
5 years now. But yeah, I'm back home, so I'm in
Okay.
Bhubaneswar right now. So out here, everything seems to be pretty pleasant. It's always good to be back home, right? So
That's wonderful. Yeah. So hope you're having a wonderful time at home.
yeah, sort of. Yes.
Yeah,
Everything is
much
just
before,
fine, sir.
thank you. Much before calligrapher, so you are a doctor by profession. You are a medical doctor.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yes,
before
I am.
we jump into calligraphy, as many people are waiting, let me ask you one personal question, which will be very
Yeah.
helpful for many people in the country, like a
Yeah.
developing country like India. See, we are in a
Mm-hmm.
pandemic. See, around 2 months ago, we were in lockdown, and now totally unlock's number is also getting increased, but people are totally, I think, forgetting about Corona. What do you suggest us to be very healthy and to take care of ourselves from, especially this corona, especially because this winter is coming up the
Mm-hmm. See, I mean, it's all pretty basic actually. So the unlock again is sort of a necessity. That is the reason why we are unlocking, and slowly things are getting back to normal, as per se. But I think please continue taking the regular precautions that you were taking a couple of months ago when the lockdown was in full swing, and just
yes.
not be complacent and just be okay. I still see
Hmm.
people not wearing masks, not taking care of those basic things that
Okay.
still need to be taken care of. I mean, people are so
Mhm.
are in a state where they think now everything is fine, even if they know that the numbers are increasing, they see it on TV, but until and unless it hits them personally, they don't take it that seriously. I have people who are not taking care of themselves or their family members at all, and once it hit them, uh, everything becomes pretty serious, and everything is important now. Corona karke matlab, it is
Yeah.
there, we need to be careful and everything. I think if we keep taking the basic precaution, then as you said, winter is around, so that would
Mm.
again maybe there is a chance that things could get worse, and especially
Mhm.
the festive season is around. So if not necessary, if you can still stick around where we are and not travel, and avoid the crowded places, because there would be crowd. I mean, it's India, so we cannot say, and people are not going to stop, doing their prayers or attending the pandals and all that. And so try not to do that. Be a bit responsible, and I think that would definitely help a lot. The numbers could be just under control as they are right now. Things have been a bit better as compared to how it was a couple of months back. So if we can do that, and I think we can still make some sort of a difference there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's wonderful. So nice of you, doctor.
yeah.
I think there's a little internet issue over there. It's getting
Uh,
buffering. It's
okay,
fine.
is it?
So
Yeah.
let me
All
enter
right.
into the real calligraphy session. Many of
Yeah.
our friends are waiting for your talk, for our talk. In fact, I was wondering, see, medicine and this calligraphy are two diversified fields. How come you have entered into this particular field, and how come
Yeah.
you have a passion developed into this particular art? When did you develop, and how did it start?
So it is just around 2 years now. So it so happened I was still working after I completed my graduation, that is, and so I started off just around 2 years. Maybe it's around 2 years now, and I had to find some of my past hobbies which I could,
Mm.
go ahead with, that could help me, relieve some of the work stress I was going through at that particular time.
Okay.
So then I just picked up a pen because I have a decent handwriting. Especially being a doctor, you don't see many,
Mm-hmm.
but there are a lot of us which who have a decent handwriting, and I was one of them. And
Yeah.
having that, I just opened up the internet. I was like, I was always fascinated with letters, the way they are, the way they are presented. Especially if you go around, you see so many advertisements and so many brands.
Mm.
Especially the logos that they create are so fascinating, and it was always
Yeah.
fascinating for me as well. So
Good.
I picked up and I went on, I searched on the internet, ordered a few calligraphy pens, which I had no idea about how to use and how not. And then I just started doing that. I just downloaded a few exemplars from the internet and started doing it. And gradually, I was introduced to the world of Instagram and Facebook, where you come in contact with so many great calligraphy artists and artists in general as well. Your painters. There are so many different aspects to it. And I was exposed to them. And once that happened, things started rolling. I mean, the basic thing is that practice. I used to practice it every day. I took it up. It used to give me immense joy when I used to do it. At the end
Mm.
of the day, when I was done with my work, whatever
Yeah.
study I had to do and everything, I did it. And at night, I used to sit down. I used to, keep practicing whatever I had learned from looking at other people's work. Basically, I mean, there's not much. There was one workshop that I had attended, but the rest of it was, I mean, me going through books and videos and whatever that material I found on the internet. So
Okay.
that was there, and I kept at it, and gradually I developed, I mean, more and more interest into it, and yeah, that is how it is. Everything, and rest you see how whatever I'm doing is out there. But yeah, I still enjoy it, although there have been a lot of breaks because of my work and everything. There are a lot of breaks whenever I do practice, or that now I'm going through that patch where I haven't picked a pen for like more than 2 weeks.
Okay.
So those would be coming and going, but I still, would say that I love practicing. Even now, I think in a couple of days, I would reach that point that I cannot do anything else, and I have to sit down and pick up my
Yeah.
pen or a brush and just go ahead with it.
Okay. Okay. That's amazing. Actually, I was about to ask you what are the advantages
Yeah,
of calligraphy in general, and what is it benefited you in particular. But you have mentioned two very wonderful things, like it helped you like a stress buster, and you enjoy it. Like these are the two
yeah, yeah,
greatest things. And apart from
yeah.
them, apart from those two things, what do you think
So it,
are the major
so it is
advantages?
still it is still a major stress buster for me, and anyone who wants to pursue calligraphy in general, whatever sort that
Mhm.
might be of. Okay, that
Mhm.
it's an amazing way to calm yourself down. The way the pen interacts with the paper, the way the color pops up, and so many things that are there. The structure of the letters, you see the harmony in those letters and everything. So that is a very major thing. I mean, it's an amazing stress buster for me, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes my head off all the nonsense that is going on in and around, your life and everything. And at the end of the practice or whatever you do, you feel so good. That being one, again, you can, it helps you concentrate as well. I think it needs a lot of patience, and patience in general is very important, I think, in our life, especially the way things are around right now. So patience is something that you could learn through calligraphy, because
Yeah.
the way you need to write, and the way you need to go about a piece whenever you create one needs a lot of patience, a lot of concentration and everything.
True.
So I think those are very important, and that has helped me as well,
Mhm.
in the other aspects of life as well. So that is important in a way. I think those things are really helpful. One being major stress buster, plus you develop, patience, there's concentration, and of course, everything else in life, does fall into place again.
Yeah.
So, when your mind is fresh, and when you feel happy, I think everything is sort of falls into place, and things work out right.
That's great. I really have to appreciate and congratulate you for the stroke what you have. And whenever I see your letter stroke on Instagram, I used to fall in love with the stroke, and many followers also do the same thing. Does the
Really
same
glad.
thing.
Thank you
I
so much.
never
That
thought that it's a 2-year-old. The stroke, I know, I thought it's more than 10-year-old, and it's surprising, really surprising. And how did you get it in just 2 years? What's that special thing you have added in this short span of time to get that great stroke?
So I think that there are a few more aspects to it. I was always into art. I think I would not say that. I mean, since childhood, my elder brother used to, be into art and painting and everything. And I was also one of those kids who used to enjoy the art class in school. I was the one who used to eagerly wait for the art class to start and, make something and, be the best and show it to the teacher, take those stars if possible and everything. So that was
Yeah.
always there. I used to do a bit of sketching. I used to do a bit of painting and all that. Once I joined college, everything, was left behind. But after I was done again, so I had to pick up something because I knew that there's something in art that I could do. And
Okay.
I mean, it is a chance as well. You could say that I picked up calligraphy because it absolutely fit in with my schedule of work and study or whatever. Because it does not require, I did not require me to sit down for like 4 days and end up making a painting, or sit
Okay.
down and make a sketch, which generally takes a lot of time. Although calligraphy also does, it depends on what you're writing and what you're not. But generally,
Okay.
if you want to do something smaller and which fits in, it would be absolutely apt for me. It was apt for me, given the time frame that I had, for something more that I had to do apart from my work and study. So
Okay.
that way it fit in, and gradually it grew on, and I used to
Mhm.
love it. I mean, and being 2 years part, I think I never had a day off within. I mean, hardly had days off where I did not practice. So whatever
Mhm.
it is, even if I was traveling, I used to have. I still have like pens in
Mhm.
my backpack. Even if I'm come back
Okay.
home, I have come back home for a while. I've got my basic tools, although I haven't used them yet. But I do have my tools whenever I would feel like I know that I would need them. I didn't know that I had an idea, and I know that in future I would need them, and I need to practice again. So whenever that would happen, yes, that would be great. But again, practice is pretty important. I think
Yeah.
out of the 2 years, there was hardly any day where I did not practice. I mean, you could maybe take out
Mhm.
a month or more than a month where I did not practice. But yes,
Okay.
practicing and again observing good work. I have been
Yeah.
stressing on it whenever I've come live, or I've been talking or interacting with other people. I think
Mhm.
observing good work helps a lot, and having that
Yeah.
mind to understand the symmetry and the structure of letters is very important. I've seen myself, I mean, grow, although there's so much to learn. But when I always scroll back to my older posts, on the internet, because it's hard to, search for your work
Mhm.
and open your file or whatever and check your previous work. But yes, whenever I see, I've come back home, I had a very old thing that I'd made, and when I see it now, I was like, oh, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. So those
Yeah.
things are there. But yes, when you see good work, you understand what they have made,
Yeah.
and years of practice they have put in, and hard work they have put in, and you see how they place their letters, how they compose, a phrase
True.
or whatever. And that when you see good work, you understand it better, and that definitely is there in your mind somewhere. And when you make something, you would
Yeah.
definitely put that into it, and that aspect of it is very important, I feel. And whenever I do something, there have been times when I do not like what I've made, and I
Yeah.
understand why I did not like it as well. So that is again
Mhm.
very important. So I think the
That's it.
more you see, the more good work you look at, the more you understand it, I think the
Mhm.
better you get as well, of course, along
That's
with
it.
practice, that is. So
Yeah.
I think all these things are important. So maybe that is the reason why 2 years, I mean, if you can see some
Mhm.
strokes that are
True.
good in my work, so maybe that might be the reason why that is there.
These are really wonderful words for the beginners, like practice, patience, you said passion, observation, especially creativity. These words will really
Yeah.
help our new beginners. Definitely. Thank you so much. And let's enter into some serious part of it. Some 10, 15 years ago, people used to do
Yeah.
calligraphy on a sheet of paper, on the walls, on eggshells, or maybe on pots. But
Yeah.
now, people are doing a really new good thing that's called digital calligraphy. And what is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is it all about? What is digital calligraphy, and how
So
one can start it from the beginning?
I think that, because I mean, we have developed so much, and there are so many platforms. You have an iPad, you have an iPen, you have so many other softwares where you could
Mhm.
replicate the same thing that you do on a paper. And I really appreciate that also, because at the end of the day, if you are taking it up as a career, those things would matter. You have to
Mhm.
digitize things, you have to sell them in that way, you need branding, there's so many things that are there. So that
True.
is there, and it is easier when you keep doing that. But I'm sort of an old school guy, and I love how it is
Mhm.
on paper. I love the ink. I love the ink. I love the nib. I love how it turns out on a paper. So for me, I mean, I am not into digital art at all, but I do not have any issues. But yes, I
Mhm.
would prefer a nib and an ink any day over any
Oh.
digital art. So that
Mhm.
is a great thing, because people who are developing, and this is one of the first stages. If you're good on paper, you know how to handle a pen, and you know how to handle the letters. I think the same
Mhm.
thing would turn out better on a digital platform. For example, you do it on an iPad or a Procreate app that they use. So once you know how
Mhm.
to handle a pen, otherwise you can handle that even better, because that is much more refined. You can
Mhm.
make small adjustments. You can go back and correct it, but on paper you can't do that, right?
True.
That is another aspect where I feel better, is like you need to get that perfect, in the first go, and you don't need to go back and undo some things. So on
Yeah.
paper, that you do not have that option. You do not have that option on a paper. But
Yes.
again, I think original is original. I think whatever you make on paper does stay. And
Yeah.
the raw feeling of a paper, or the raw feeling of the ink, how you dip an ink, I mean a nib into an ink, and you keep writing, the effect it has is completely serial, I could say. I mean it's out of the
Okay.
world. So that being a good part, that digitizing is there and digital art is there, and
Mhm.
you do those sort of calligraphy on digital material as well. But
Yes.
yeah, paper is paper, ink is ink, and pen is a pen. So, as even
Yeah.
I think you would also agree with me, I think whatever you would be
True,
writing, the
true.
sort of pens you would be using, that's another
Yeah.
feeling altogether.
At a pleasant morning or evening, if I ask you to do on one
Yeah,
platform, which one do you choose? Like a rapid question.
yeah, of course, on paper, no digital.
Fantastic, fantastic. Every calligrapher, most of the calligraphers, I think, love to do on a piece of paper. That touch,
Yeah.
that feel is different from
Absolutely,
digital.
it's different. I mean, if you see some videos there, and some amazing artists that are there, even from India, there are n number of good artists.
Yeah.
Some of them are even there in live, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you see they make videos, and you see the sound it makes,
Mm.
the sort of nib
Mm.
that makes a sound when it interacts with the paper is just
Yes.
outstanding. I mean, it's amazing.
Yes.
So that feel of it you will not get on a an iPad,
Yeah.
although they have a lot of things which would
Yeah.
make you feel like, oh yeah, it is a paper. They have those amazing sounds and everything whenever you write
Mm.
on it.
Mm.
But then
Yeah.
original any day. So
Original. Yes. Yes. That's like a
yeah,
music, actually. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, I would like to hear something very important from you. Wherever you check on internet, maybe on the people, if you ask about the language of a calligraphy, people say Arabic calligraphy, Urdu calligraphy,
Yes,
English calligraphy,
yes,
Roman, both. Now, these are the things
yes.
generally people come out with. What about the Indian scripts? Calligraphy in
So
terms
the
of Indian scripts.
So, I mean, even culturally, we are so diverse. We have n number of languages and n number of scripts, right?
Hmm.
I mean, you take up Devanagari. It's so amazing if you have seen people do it.
Hmm.
We have Gujarati. We have all the South Indian languages. We have Telugu, Tamil, Kannada. I mean, they have their own scripts. So
Hmm.
I have tried
Yes.
a few. I have tried a few. I think it's amazing. I think being from India, I think every one of us should try it. Of course, English, there are so many scripts in that as well, right? And then so many variations in each script are all definitely there. But because we have that advantage of a rich cultural heritage, I think we
Hmm.
all should definitely try. I have tried it. It's just that I do not get time to, sometimes
Hmm.
start and learn new things. I have learned a bit of Devanagari from a lot of our artists as well, and I do have done it before, but haven't done it recently. But I do that as well. I have written in Telugu as well. There would be one or two of my works written in Telugu and
That's
in Odia as well. So I do speak Odia, I do write Odia. So again, that is helpful. So I have done a bit, and I think in later on in life, definitely there's a lot to explore in that as well. Because
yeah.
I mean, if you see, I mean, talking about the structure, the way they are, each letter, especially in Devanagari or in Odia. There's so much variation again you can put into it, but the form again is so beautiful. Each of them, I
Yeah.
mean, English and English, definitely there's so many of them. It is easier for us because we have been learning in English from childhood. So, writing something in English comes easy for most of us. And but of course, we have learned our languages as well. And I think it should be really good if we could pick up one of them as well, and
Yeah.
explore those options as well. As I said,
Okay.
we are from India and we have so much to
Mhm.
share and show it
Yeah.
to the world. So I think that is something where each and every one of us could do. At least pick up some of the Indian scripts, at least one of them, and go ahead and explore.
Yes. And Mahatma Gandhi told in his autobiography that to develop a beautiful handwriting, you need to start writing, scribbling something on a piece of paper. You need to work on drawing. And he was
Hmm.
requesting parents also to teach drawing to the children. And about you, like if you take it as a consideration, what do you
Yeah.
think can be a wonderful suggestion for the small children? Because they are not willing to write something on a piece of paper. They don't have a willingness to write it with a pen and paper. But
Yeah.
they
So
like video games, all these things. How do you
yeah.
motivate them?
I think I mean, of course you are the better person to answer, but what I think is, like, I mean, the things have changed in recent times, right? I mean, if you go back to when we were young and how situation is right now, you
Mhm.
have you have access to so many gadgets and everything, and for us a pen and paper, if someone would gift you a set of crayons, wow, it was like the happiest day of our lives, right? So
Yeah.
that time it was different, and now it is different, of course, because they are exposed to so many gadgets and so many fancy things. They are pulled towards it. But I would
Yep.
again suggest to any parent, I mean, whenever they say, like,
Mhm.
their kid does not have a good handwriting, he doesn't feel like, I would definitely say go ahead and make sure at least stress a bit on their handwriting a bit, because I think later on, I mean, I had I really appreciate my parents. They were very particular about handwritings, and even I and my elder brother do have a decent handwriting. So does my father. So I still feel good when someone of my patients come up and say, "Sir, you have a good handwriting, and we can read whatever you've written." So
Okay.
that gives me a sense of uh, I mean, happiness, like a child. Good, thank you.
That's
Given the
wonderful.
fact
Kudos to
that
your parents.
doctors do not have a good, yeah. So again, I would want their parents to work on it. I mean, I think children are very fragile and naive right now to understand the importance of handwriting.
Yeah.
Even later on, I mean, it's a part of an impression. Like whenever you see someone with a good handwriting, automatically you develop that feel that, oh yeah, he's good, right? But if you see that person with a bad handwriting, whatever he might be doing, first impression would go off,
Yes.
right? I mean, even in other aspects, as I told you, same as calligraphy, those could also help the child, with their development as well. If
Yeah.
they do enjoy writing and uh, uh, have a good handwriting, score better, teacher has a good impression as well. So
Okay.
I had that advantage when I was young. So my notebooks used
Mm.
to go around in class. Okay,
Okay.
he has a good handwriting. So
Yeah, that builds up your confidence also. When
yeah,
somebody
of
is
course
looking
that
at your
does.
notebook. Uh,
Absolutely.
mm,
Absolutely, it does. Even today, when, I mean, if you come across a patient and whatever you
mm,
do, and you try to give whatever suggestions you can. But I think when they
okay.
see a good prescription in their hand, they were like, okay, yeah, he writes well. I think whatever
Mhm.
medication he has given would work on me. There's another sense of confidence that they have in that doctor. So I think that does help. Again, confidence, yes, definitely.
That's a wonderful thing. Out of my academic interest, I used to ask many people with a beautiful handwriting, uh, how is your handwriting so beautiful? And one of the very few beginning answers, first answers, they used to tell me, my parents, my
Yeah.
parents. My parents encouraged me. They did that. They did that to me. Even much
Mhm.
before teachers, they used to appreciate their parents for the personal interest or keen ideas what
Yeah.
they give. Really,
Yeah.
good kudos goes to your parents also. Now,
Yeah.
as we were about to touch this point, let me ask you with a due apology in the beginning itself, why is that in the
Yeah.
society there is a wrong notion that doctors write bad handwriting? Doctors have a bad handwriting. What is it?
I have no idea. I understand why they develop a bad handwriting, I mean, for example, you take me and I am saying like I have a good handwriting, I have a decent handwriting, not even
Yeah.
good. But what happens like when we start off or even later in our careers is like when you have to see some 50 or 100 or 150 patients in a day,
Yes.
I do not think you have that sort of a patience to, make sure that every letter is perfect. And I think that is the reason maybe the handwriting slowly degrades. Otherwise, I don't
Okay.
think there is any difference as such. And just because of the same, they feel ki, yes, there is this notion that people have a bad handwriting. I mean, doctors have a bad handwriting in general. So I think that is there. But if you ask them, give them time, ask them to write this phrase in 10, 15 minutes, take your time. I think they won't be writing in the same way. So
Okay.
it's just the notion. I mean, if you see a very busy doctor and you see like there are
Mm.
like 50 patients sitting outside his
Yeah.
OPD and you are expecting him to write, in beautiful
Mm.
letters. Although there still are people who do that. I know a lot of doctors who do that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially a lot of female doctors have beautiful writing. They have beautiful cursive handwriting and they make sure whatever work you give them, or even some of my male colleagues also, they make sure that
Mm-hmm.
it is written in a beautiful way. So that is there, but the basic notion would just be because of this. This is what I feel like. And I have seen my handwriting degrade on a very busy day. So I have seen that my handwriting would go from good to bad and worse by the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. So that is there. I think that is the reason why there is this notion about bad
Okay.
handwriting
Okay.
associated with doctors.
But of course, doctors, many doctors, I personally have seen because they have a lot of record work, a lot of their
Yeah, yeah.
marks are there in the hands of professors, and
Yes,
they
absolutely.
do definitely have a good skill of drawing and good skill of writing letters, all these things. As you said,
Yeah.
maybe because of a busy day, end of the day, I think it gradually deteriorates. Maybe that's
Yes,
one of the reasons.
absolutely. Yes.
But I strongly recommend not to criticize negatively the doctor's handwriting. Of course, nowadays
Yes.
many doctors are doing it in capital letters. It's reasonably
Yes,
legible,
yes.
definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, that is also there. Absolutely. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. And one more thing, is there any association for the calligraphers, any groups like with the like-minded people? Are you a part of any group, or do you have any idea to start any group or something?
Yeah, I mean there are a lot. Uh, I mean I would just talk about India. Although internationally there are a few groups that are basically there, but being
Mm.
from India, I think here in Delhi, in Delhi or what you can say in India, we have a group called Indian Penmanship, and there are a few other groups as well. So basically,
Mhm.
I am a part of an Indian Penmanship group, and there are a uh, lot of
Okay.
calligraphers, of
Oh,
different from every part of India, and it's a very good group. I would again want to mention it that because of that group also, I think it has helped me a lot as well. So we have these usual tasks. We post our works there. We can ask people who are good in a particular script, like for example, Devanagari. We have Inkubai, we have Vipulbai. There are a lot of other people from Maharashtra who are really good with that.
yeah.
You can talk to them and ask suggestions, and that is how I think even I grew a bit of whatever I have. So that is a group, very good group that is there. And even in Delhi, we have an amazing group of people, like-minded people, as you said. We have Cali meets organized by one of our dear friends and elder brother, I would say. Inku sir is there.
Yeah, yeah.
So he takes up the initiative of arranging these Cali meets, and
Okay.
every one of us do meet up like once in a month. It was there before the uh,
Mm.
COVID and everything. Every couple of months, we used to meet, we used to talk to each other, show our work, ask whatever doubts we had. And that is, again, one of the things that helped me grow. I've come in contact with a number of good people. Like, there are lots and lots of talented artists out there, especially if you
Mhm.
just take out calligraphy, there is. So that helps a lot. Even now, I miss those things. I think whenever I get back to Delhi, things would be normal and we could have that again.
Mm, mm.
And we also
Yes.
have people coming from different states as well. Whenever they are around, we make sure we have a Cali meet at that time so that we get a
Okay.
chance to talk to those people and,
Mhm.
those calligraphers from other parts of India or otherwise. So we can learn from them as well. We have a small
Okay.
session of, teaching a particular script or style, as you say. And I think that does help a lot. Uh, uh,
Okay.
and of course, internationally there are a lot of groups that are there on the internet. I mean, uh, that's a calligraphy masters community where there's a group of, well-known and amazing artists. So, just follow their page just to, understand what kind of work they produce. As I
Yeah.
said, studying good art again is very important. So that
Mm-hmm.
gives you a platform of, going there and studying their work, know about different artists as well. People have
True.
been there for so long, have been studying it meticulously to, develop new styles and everything, even calligraphy or
Mm-hmm.
lettering as well. So
Yeah.
I think that again helps. But in India, I mean, I'm really glad. I think even in Maharashtra, there is another group which does have these meetups and everything. But I think I was really grateful that I was in Delhi at that point of time. And again, those groups did help me a lot.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Now, my favorite question. I'm eagerly waiting for it, and my our participants are also eagerly waiting for it. Many people use different writing instruments, especially calligraphy
Yes.
instruments like script
Yeah.
nibs. They use different nibs. They use chisel pens,
Yes.
maybe an ordinary pencil. What's your
Hmm.
favorite instrument when it comes to calligraphy? And what are your,
So I
if you
mean,
have writing instruments, if you can show us?
yeah, so I'm sort of a person who is into broad edge scripts. Okay, so I use pens with a broader edge, and one of the most favorite ones would be a Pilot parallel pen. I think you would also know of it.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
this is
yes.
one of those pens that is
Yeah,
there. I
wonderful.
mean, if you can see,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So this
Very
parallel
parallel is
pen is, yeah. So this is one of my favorite pens. I mean, because it's handy, you can just fill the ink up, just carry
mm,
it around and write wherever you want, right? Otherwise, if you ask me personally, yet this was there for a very long time. It still is my
mm,
favorite, but
yeah, okay.
I enjoy my nibs. I enjoy my nibs now. I
Okay.
enjoy my dip nibs. I have a lot of broad edge nibs with me. There's
Mm,
speedball nibs. There are
yeah.
nibs by manuscript and nibs by William Mitchell, which I miss them
Yeah.
right now. I don't have them with me. So, but
Okay.
I love that feel of, dipping the nibs and
Mm,
writing with them.
yeah.
Because when I had started, I did not have them, but now I enjoy it thoroughly. And it has again, a different feel to it,
Yeah.
as I said before. So I love them. I do not have them right now with me, but again, there's one more. I am into flat brush right now, and I'm trying to,
Okay.
use them and learn the Roman script. Basically, I'm at it. I have been doing it for a while, but still, there's a lot to learn in that. So yes, I am
Mm-hmm.
carrying those flat brushes which I use. I have these around with me.
Oh,
So
okay.
so it works with the same way, but it helps with uh, a lot of different things, especially with changing of the nib angle, and it's
Mhm.
pretty smooth and everything. So yeah, that those favorite pirate parallel, I think 90% of us would say is the
Yeah.
favorite pen of a calligrapher. Uh, but yeah, again, it depends. If you're into pointed pen and those scripts of copperplate and all, they would say
Mm-hmm.
something different. But majority of us who are into it, yeah, pilot parallel is there, plus the dip nibs definitely.
Okay. And out of pilot parallel pens, which color or width do you like? Do you prefer more?
So the appropriate one which goes out with most of the styles I do try out is the 3.8 mm. And just
Width.
yesterday I got to know that Pilot has come up with two more sizes. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited about it. One is I think a 3 mm and a 4.5 mm. And
Oh.
I just saw some person from Australia or somewhere posting it on their story, and I was like, "What?" I think they come in a light blue color and a pink color. So eagerly waiting for that. I think when they would be out in the market, one of those would be my favorite. But right now it's a 3.8. I think the 4.5 would be an apt size. Uh, so let's see once they are out.
It's a news.
Let's try
It's a
them
news
out.
for many of
Yeah.
our participants. It's
Yeah,
a
I
wonderful
think
thing.
so. I think so because it was just yesterday that even I got the knowledge of the same, and I shared with a few, and they were like, "When did that
Yeah.
happen?" I think by the time it comes down to India, it'll take a bit
It
of
will become
time,
six now.
but that's a yes,
It
sir.
it will be six. It will be six now, adding two.
Yeah, yeah. It'll be a set of six now. Yes,
Yeah, yeah, that's
set of six.
wonderful. And for a brush calligraphy, which pen do you use apart from the brushes? Do you use any particular pen
Uh,
for calligraphy?
Yeah, yeah. the regular brush calligraphy or the brush pens that I have, I think Tombow is my go-to pen. Although I
Oh.
have a lot of them, I mean, I do have, but I'm not so much into brush calligraphy, but I do enjoy it once in a while. So I think the Tombow one, the Fudenosuke one, which has the few tip, the smaller tip, I do carry it around everywhere. So I think that would be my favorite. But apart
Mhm.
from that, I've tried most of it, and I mean, all of them are good. Like some have really good pigment and everything. But I've not gotten into that because that is not one of the styles I do most often. But yeah, I do enjoy it once in a while. It helps me free my hands. I go all bizarre. Like I just take that pen and just keep writing with a brush pen. I mean, there's no boundaries though because it
Yeah.
comes more or less in the modern sort of calligraphy. So there are no
Mhm.
set rules of this angle to be maintained or this nib height has to be maintained and all that. So I think
Mhm.
that way it helps me explore, just go wild with it. So that is why I have like three, four of them with me all the time.
Yeah,
So
our
yeah, but the smaller tip
Inku
ones.
calligraphy sir also has come. Let's appreciate out of the participants.
Oh,
Inku calligraphy sir.
Are Inku bhai. Oh, we
Hello,
have
hello, sir. Very nice to have you
Narayan,
here.
Bhagwat. Thank you all for coming here. We have NS
Wonderful,
Bhagwat. He's
wonderful.
an
Great to
amazing
have you here.
artist as well. There's
Mm.
Abdul, there's Harpreet ji. There's so many of them. Thank you so much for
Yes,
joining. Thank you
yes.
so much for
Yeah.
joining.
And Dr. Yogi, what's your favorite font? Which one do you love to write most of the times? Do you like to be branded with one particular font, or do you want to be like with every font is okay?
So again, I mean, a lot of my calligraphers who would be there who's like, no, 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 you said it wrong. It's not a font, it's a script. So,
Script, okay.
so it's
Yeah.
yeah. So I think the script. I generally am someone who loves different scripts.
Mhm.
Okay, I mean, if you see my
Yes.
work also, you
Okay.
could definitely find a lot of different scripts that I've tried. Although most of them are into the broadest sort of script. But yes, I've tried a lot of them, and I enjoy using different scripts. I go with the feel of it generally whenever I want to write a phrase,
Okay.
and so the phrase, the feel of it, if it asks for a delicate sort of a script, so if I can go for an italic or a chancery. If I want something to be a bold statement, I would go up with a Newland script or something which is bolder as well. Or if I want to go out with something classy and stuff, I would go with the Roman capitals, which is
Okay.
like one of the favorite scripts of mine. I mean, I'm still
Mhm.
not at it. I mean, not completely. I'm still learning that, so learning every detail, trying to learn every detail of it. But I think
Mhm.
Roman capitals is something I love doing right now.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And we
Uh,
appreciate Mr. Vipul. Vipul is also on the show. Thank you,
oh,
Mr.
Vipul bhai.
Vipul. Thanks for being here. Vipul Bhai is here. Akhilesh Bhai is here. Thank you so much. Both of these people are very, very
Oh,
good at Instagram. They do wonderful posts. They post great things, great shows on Instagram especially. I
oh,
really enjoy them.
I absolutely. I think Vipul bhai has something like he says that all six pilot pens are available on its website. Oh, wow. I don't know
Yeah,
whether
they,
it's
they are on
available
the
to buy,
website.
but yeah,
And I'm a huge
I
fan
think
of
maybe.
Vipul's script and Abhi by, wonderful. They're like, blessed with a stroke. What a beautiful
Absolutely,
design stroke.
every one of them. Yes, I mean Devanagari,
Yes.
but whatever he does, it's
Amazing.
so sharp. I mean,
Yeah.
I have had the privilege of meeting most of them. So I've
Yes.
met Inkubai, I've met Vipulbai, and I've met most of them, and I'm really glad. There are a few more that I want to meet, but I'm really
Yeah.
glad that I've met most of them. They're amazing people. You just can't stop talking to them. I mean, because we share the same interest, uh, so you never fall short of words
Yeah.
to talk to each other. I think
True.
that's something really nice.
Even I had an opportunity of meeting most of them in Pen Show in Mumbai.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I so wanted. I think I would have met you there if I was there. I had
yes.
like some previous
Yeah.
engagements, so I so wanted to be there. I think every one of them was there. I so wanted to meet Sachin sir. I mean, I've met others, but Sachin sir is one of the inspirations that I looked up to even today. And I thought I would have met him, and there were so many of them out there. Vipul Bhai was there, Abhay was there. uh, Paru ma'am and Manish. Everyone was
Yes,
there, so I
yes.
thought it would have been a
These are all
great
lovely
experience.
people, and let's hope post Corona, I think
End
we
of
are going
time,
to
and
meet
I mean, whenever
once
needs
again.
that pen show,
The
I
world is
would
very
be there.
small.
Hopefully.
Yes. Mm. So, what's your suggestion for the beginners if somebody wants to start this particular art now? Because many people are with the digital things now. Apart from these digital typing, all these things, do you encourage somebody to come into this particular calligraphy? For what reason? And what's the basic thing for them? Do you think?
Yeah. So the base, I wouldn't say the basic, but I think first of all, you need to have an interest in whatever. I mean, if you are interested in this art form, yes, definitely. I would, I mean, of course, without interest, I wouldn't ask anyone to join and start calligraphy. But if you have at least a bit of interest, come in, explore it. You will never regret that.
That
If for beginners, I think you just look out for the work that is available online. Check what sort of work or what side of style you want to choose. Follow those people, ask them. I think Instagram and the social media is really user friendly. Message them. I think most of them would answer back and let you know what material you would generally need. I also try to answer as much questions as possible, and I even recommend them to follow a few people for certain styles of it. And as we talked, all the benefits of calligraphy, yes, you would get it. You would not regret, as I told you. But yes, I mean, I would ask you to start off with a script or a style, gradually explore, learn small details of it. Once you feel that you're done good enough, I think you have a whole ocean of different styles to explore, and whether it be a pointed pen or a broad edge pen or a brush or modern calligraphy. So I think you would not regret. I mean, come in, there's so much to explore, although it is not that cheap, I would say. Having in passion or an interest in calligraphy does is a bit expensive of sorts. Sometimes,
yeah,
for example, if you want to buy an automatic pen, you have to shell around 1900 if you want to buy it in India, unless and until you have someone abroad who could bring it for you.
yes,
But yes, but I think even with the normal material that is available, and we have like amazing experimental art. Inkubai, if you see, he can write with anything. You just give it to him, just
yes,
give a bottle of ink and give any material to him. I think he can make the best out of it. So once you understand what it is about, the materials again wouldn't be of much concern. But yes, uh, you need to start. You need to pick up the pen and start writing first. So I mean, again, just come, start, learn from whatever style you want, learn from people, ask around. I think whoever's work you like, go ahead, try to contact them, communicate with them. So
yeah,
many videos and material available online, free material as well. There's Lettering Daily website where you can find different things, different scripts and different information about calligraphy, and you have free scripts, I mean, free worksheets and everything. You can, start off there as well. So you have a lot of videos as well. So we do not have less content available. So that again would be easy. And of course, as I said, the community is really giving. Just try to contact. It's just that people might miss your message, but if they do see, they will definitely contact and answer back. So that is there. And again, practice is important, as we have talked before.
yeah,
Practice and other aspects of it would start in later. Once you start doing it, you will again I mean, by yourself, do understand how things are, and it is a gradual process. The things I knew like
true.
2 years back, uh, if I compare it to now, I mean, there's hell and heaven difference there. So it's a process,
Yes.
just be patient also, now because of the sort
Mhm.
of social media thing we have. Oh, I do not get those many likes, although I'm good. I don't have those many followers there. Those things do, affect you in a way, but I would say don't go
True.
or don't fall into that trap. I think if you do work on yourself, if you do work on your style, your, skill, numbers are just a mere thing. If you are good, if you're not good and you have like n number of followers doesn't make sense. I mean, a person who does know what calligraphy is would definitely judge by seeing your work. So it's of no use. If your work is good, numbers and everything would follow for sure. I mean, maybe
Yeah,
not today, maybe tomorrow, a month later, definitely the numbers would pop up.
that's perfect. And for our surprise, I'm really blessed to have Manish Soni bhai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Namaste, Manish bhai.
Thank you, Manish
Amazing.
bhai.
Yeah, we have.
Good evening. Thank you so much for being on our show. He's one of the rarest calligraphers who has been invited by Narendra Modi ji on the inauguration of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's statue in Gujarat.
Hmm.
He's really blessed,
I
and
mean,
we are.
I must say I've heard so much about Manish sir. I've heard so much. I've never had a chance to
Yeah,
interact or but everybody. I mean, starting from Inku Bhai to Upul Bhai to everybody who have talked
yeah, yeah.
have always mentioned him, and that is how I know about him as well. So maybe
I
in the
met this
future,
amazing
one
man, and
someday I would.
we have attended a workshop also by Manish Bhai in Mumbai. And thanks
Oh,
to Pen Show organizers. Really, he's an amazing guy. Apart from a calligrapher, apart from all the other things, he's a wonderful human being. I love you, sir. Manish Soni Bhai. Thank you so much for being here.
thank you, sir. Thank you for being here.
And Dr. Yogi, what do you think is the
Yeah.
influence of social media on this particular calligraphers? Because still today, even today, I see some calligraphers, those who are not at all exposed to social media, they just enjoy their work. But few people are really heroes on Instagram, on other platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook. All
Mhm.
the, what do you think is the influence of social media today?
See the influence. I mean, see, we have, as I told you, that we have a lot of artists like even Manish sir and everyone who has been doing it for such a long time. Social media here does give, that sense of belonging to people who are generally new. That is what I feel.
Mhm.
When if you see a lot of people who are, as you said, who are not that good but have a great following, right? It's
Okay.
so I, as a lot of people have mentioned before, and even I think there are two kind of artists: one who really do good art, and the others are Instagram artists. And we need to weigh on what we want, right?
Yeah.
We can be both as well. We can be both as well, of course. But again, as I told you, if the skill is there, the numbers would follow. But
Yeah.
in social media, what generally happens is that you need to show your presence now and then. If you do not keep posting, if you do not interact, there are n number of things that would
Mhm.
facilitate your growth on a social media platform. You need to keep posting regularly, you need to interact with a lot of people, you need to go check their work, like their work and everything. But you see some of them who don't do that as well but keep posting regularly do get the numbers as well, right?
Okay.
So I do not think we should be bothered by the numbers, as I told you before as well. Don't be
Mm-mm.
bothered by the number. There's so many artists even from India who do amazing work, but they might not be having that sort of a following on social
Yeah,
media. But I think that does not really matter when your work is so good and your work itself speaks, speaks, right? And you get work or you get whatever commissions that they get is because of their name and work. Being a social media artist is a completely different thing. I mean, if you want to do that, you can. Again, you need to do just a few more things that you do apart from developing your skills. Make sure you take a good picture, make sure you post on time, make sure you interact with a lot of people, and there are a
yeah,
number of those things. And if you are not willing to do that, I think it's absolutely fine. I think at the end of the day, we are concerned about the art itself and how we develop our skill. If we keep posting not really good stuff, I won't say, won't use any other word for it, but if
yeah,
we won't keep posting stuff that is not really good and we gain the numbers, still don't work on the skill, keep doing the same thing each and every day, I don't think it's of any use. And if you are a calligrapher, I think most of them, if you see, they have such a variation, such a range with them, especially the ones who are doing at a
yeah,
as a profession that is there. I think exploring the different aspects of calligraphy is really important in
yeah,
calligraphy as well. So as the question was, I think we should not be bothered by the social media frenzy.
yes,
If you want to do that, yes, you can. because you
Hmm.
are making good work. So it's just that you need to post it in a particular way so you can gain numbers there as well. But again, if things would turn out better, right? Developing your skill
Yeah.
is more important than getting those likes.
True, true. Somebody was asking where can we see your works, and I think other participants have already answered letters by Dr. Yogi on
Yeah,
Instagram. You can see his work,
yes, that is
and my
my
works.
handwriting.
I'm more into handwriting. I'm on handwriting, Mallikarjun, and many of the calligraphers you can see with their names like Manish Swanibhai,
Yeah, you can
Vipul
just
calligraphy. You can
scroll.
see
We have
scroll and
Yash as well.
Parunam.
We have Abdul. We have so many,
Yeah,
and a lot of friends are also there. Hello, we have
yeah. You have
one of my
Samir
friends.
from
She's there.
Hyderabad, Abdul
Yes.
Ghaffar Khan from Hyderabad. They are great people
Yeah.
like
Oh, hi,
Sachin is one of
Brandon.
the
Hi.
wonderful calligraphers.
Yeah.
And now I have Dr. Yogi. I just wanted to ask you, what's
Yeah.
your favorite ink, especially color and the brand?
So I must say that I mean I basically used to use Pilot Parallels, and generally I work with fountain pens, fountain inks as only. Even if I use a dip pen,
Mhm.
I use them only. So Krishna inks
Okay,
are something that I'm really obsessed with.
super.
Although I have one or two of the different Pelican and the other brands that we have,
Mhm.
that is I have like 20 more than 20 of those Krishna inks. I love it. I mean,
So,
although I haven't explored a lot of other things that are available in the market.
mhm.
One, generally the fountain pen people, I mean, you would know better,
Yep.
use. But I think Krishna inks is something I have been fond of for a very long time. So, I mean, I keep collecting them whenever I can. So
Mhm.
I have ended
Mhm.
up with a lot of them. Although inks is something that I want to explore more. I've just
Mhm.
ordered Noodler's ink,
Yeah.
so it's on a way. I mean, it is with my brother for a very long
Okay.
time now, but yeah, it would be reaching me pretty soon.
Right.
So that is, I mean, gradually I'm trying to explore more in that aspect, collecting inks and even trying different
Okay.
inks as well.
See, by
The
though,
one I used
if
to
you see,
practice regularly is Walnut Ink.
okay, okay, good, good. Yeah, Walnut ink is favorite for many calligraphers.
I mean, amongst the ink that I've brought with me from Delhi is Walnut Ink only. So
Can you show it if you have it?
yeah, yeah, I have this bottle of Walnut Ink right here.
Okay,
I
okay.
will
Yeah,
show
yeah.
you. So
Hmm.
walnut
Good.
ink, I had these walnut ink crystals that I had got from someone. So I keep
Okay.
making them, and this is the third bottle of it, the 30
Hmm.
ml third bottle. So this is
Oh,
ink which I practice with. So I
wonderful,
love it. I
wonderful.
just love how it is. I mean, the feel of it is amazing.
Yeah, some of our participants is asking, what's your favorite ink pen, fountain pen?
Fountain pen again. I'm really sorry for all the fountain pen lovers. I haven't explored this area of fountain pens. The only fountain pen that I recently got is the a Lamy, and I don't even know. I mean, please don't
Okay.
hate me for that. It's a calligraphy Lamy pen with a cut nib. I don't
Hmm.
know. It comes in a black and red. You would know, I think. That
Okay.
is there, which I haven't even opened because I met a lot of people. There's Yash and there is Dr.
Hmm.
Nirjar from Kolkata, who is so much into fountain pens. And I had the
Look.
chance to meet him, and we have discussed a lot about that. And I was like, I do not know about this. And he shared so
Okay.
much with me that I have a bit
Hmm.
of knowledge right now. But I think 5 to 10 years down the line, even you could say I would have a set of good fountain pens,
Yeah. Okay. That's fine.
with me.
And some of our participants are asking, how do you hold your pen and how do you write? What is your regular handwriting? If you
My
have it,
regular hand, my reg. I mean, I mean, because I've been. Let me just check my notebook, and I'll just show you how my regular handwriting looks like. So I'm not sure if it would be clear enough for you guys, but
I can show
so
it on
whoever.